This is but a video to indicate or to prove the pain that I go through because of the illegal implants that not only include connecting cable, they also include injections of silicone, which increase the vibrations that I feel. Like when you wobble a jelly on the plate, the silicone, when your area vibrates where the implant is, it makes the whole area vibrate more. I don't know if you can tell, but my hands are very swollen. They're so swollen that, well, I'll start here. You see these ridges or these lumps in my arm. This is the second day after I've done the work in the garden. These ridges in my arm are where I believe there's implant cable there. It's very, very hot there. And that's where, if I put cold on it, it completely and immediately stops this numbness in my hands. That's where it's swelling to cause numbness in my hands. And you can see when I do that, you can see it's there all the time. You can just see it more when I twist my arm around. And that's where it's swelling, and that's where it causes the numbness in my arms. I'll go up a bit further. In this light, you can't see. This is early morning. You can't see because of it's a blue hue, but you might see the difference in the tones there. That's a scar from where a vibrating, I believe it's a bion, vibrates in that location. This sort of, you can see this sort of area even in this light. That's a scar from the vibrations, and it's very hard there because of the silicone and the implant vibrating there. And I go up further, you'll see the ridges in my arm, all these ridges down here. That's from the silicone in my arm, and it's like, you can see it moves independently. It's not fat. I'm not a fat person. I've never ever been overweight. I weigh about 70 to 75 kilo at the moment because of the scar tissue and the weight of the silicone creating the scar tissue and the illegal implants. But I never eat breakfast. I don't eat a lot of food, full stop. I never eat sugar. This is evidence of the silicone injection. I mean, women have that there anyway, but you can tell from the ridges that it's silicone. It's very painful. I can feel it vibrating in there. It feels like there's a bion in there. There's scars on that arm, and it's really, really hurts. And the silicone weight in my arm causes pain by itself. There are cables over my hand. I accidentally punctured my hand here, and it weeped silicone for about 2 weeks, and that's created a divot there. Although there is what looks like one on the other side, but it's not the same. It was all lumped up there before I punctured it, and now you can see it's like a big hollow. And you can feel the cables. They're tiny, little, very thin cables, like about twice the size of a fishing wire under my, maybe even fishing line, depends on the size, I guess. And my fingers are very swollen. I can't put any of my rings on. It's rock hard here. Oh, out of vision. Here, like in this part here where it's supposed to be just long bone, it's rock hard. Where the silicone's hardened, because that's what happens. Silicone hardens. And like my fingers are too fat for man's rings, even. I'm 5'6", and it's too fat for man's fingers. About 12 or 13 or something they are. And like I said, it's rock hard here. It's all swollen. The band-aids is because the fingers spontaneously split. The tips of the fingers are rock hard, completely rock hard. It looks like I'm dehydrated, but that's just the silicone gone hard. They're all like that. That's the finger tips are hard. I don't know if you can see the old splits. There's an old split on that finger there. I don't know if you can see it. Bad, cheap phone camera. And that's why I have to put band-aids on, because it's really painful. It's very swollen there, gets very hot there and vibrates there. There's something under here. When I grip, I feel nerve pain. If I grip something in both hands, this one's worse actually, but when I grip, I feel nerve pain up the centre of my hand when I grip like that with these fingers. I can't use either thumb. That's as flat as I can put the thumb. Both thumbs have been dislocated. You can see that in radiology imaging. This arm is the same, although a little bit different with the get the camera over so you don't see anything else. This is a damn. Hang on, I have to cut this bit out. Okay, this arm is the same in as much as that's where it. This is where it. This arm is the same in as much as this is where it causes the numbness in my hands, and that's I'm going to twist that to see. This is the line. I know you have muscles and stuff like that, but this is the line where if I put cold there, you see it's all swollen there at the moment. If I put cold there, it's swollen around to there, it causes the numbness. I mean, the numbness in my hands is all the digits. It's not just one or a couple, it's all the digits. And as soon as I put cold on this area on both hands, it causes the numbness to stop. And you can see that that's, whatever that is large and sticking up. So, and there's a cable that goes down here. You can actually see it vibrating under the skin sometimes, and you can feel it's hard. We squash it with a biro and move it around. It's not like a blood vein. There's no tendons on the top there, just under your skin. It's a cable. Again, all those fingers are swollen, excessively swollen. I can't put this thumb back. It's broken as well, or dislocated, I should say. And all here, it's the same. And like I said, this one's the worst one for the whatever this here, that shouldn't be there. That's very swollen there. And like you can see, it's different on that side. They're all the digit bottoms are swollen. This one, it looks rather odd the way it's swollen. But they're all very painful. It's very painful to do that. It gets really, really hot there. And like again, when I grip like that, apart from being really painful in the thumb, I get shooting pains down the centre of my hand. Oh, hang on. No, they're down the top of my hand. Oh, shit, I can't remember now. But I get shooting pains. They're nerve pains because I had a nerve conduction test, so I know what it is. And these fingers again, they're swollen, all of them. Not as rock hard as the one on the right hand, but they're still swollen. These vibrate. I've got to put the armbands to stop the vibrating from the bions. You can see that the muscle tissue has gone really hard there. The silicone makes your skin go hard underneath because of the scar tissue. They've also got the same sort of scars on the other side, but if I don't keep these here, it's really it's like brain water torture. It's really, really annoying because they vibrate significantly. There's another vibration, and I can't put anything on the one up the top here. There's another one in the back of my arm up the top here. That another bion that vibrates, but it only happens sometimes. It seems like they can turn them on and make them worse at times, but it only happens intermittently, like severe vibrations. But I can't put anything up there because it cuts the circulation off. But it's again the same. I don't know if you can see it in this light. I've got the ridges there. I'm moving around a bit. Got the ridges from the silicone. But like I said, there's multi-bions in here causing it to vibrate. And there seems to be a cable over the elbow in there and bions in there vibrating. That's just my arms, right? This is the same. The fingers split with these. I've got less band-aids on this one for a change. I've got a blood blister from working out in the yard. But these again, these are all hard on the end. I don't know if you can see that. It's just a cheap camera, so I don't know if it's so focused very well. But anyway, it's the same. You press the end and it sinks in, takes a while. Oh, shit. I had to hurt down my finger there. Oh, it's on the top of the finger. And, yeah, I've had the band-aids on. I put the band-aids on yesterday, so I'll take them off later on today and see how they are. But as soon as I use my hands, even typing or cleaning, anything, use my hands for anything, the fingertips split spontaneously because the silicone's made the skin hard. And that's part of the reason why they're swollen, because they're swollen naturally anyway because of the silicone. And then having the scar tissue, and then because I do things with it, it causes swelling because I'm aggravating the skin around the silicone and the implants. And this is what I talk about when I say physical torture for being a victim of crime. Why put implants in me? Only reason is to make money out of me being a victim of crime and just sit back and laugh at me in pain, which is what local physicians in Adelaide have done. They've laughed at me when I've gone in crying in pain, asking them to help me. They just laugh at me, especially even when I had the dislocated shoulder. They just laughed at me.